time to rest? A private word would be nice.
Tell me, what can I do for you? Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistral, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel, and with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistral sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistral, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more, an event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. For a spell, Mistral was reborn as Mistra. Upon her return, the weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. And try to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls. I assure you it's not. Don't get me wrong, you did well. The somatic component, the verbal component, even the focus on the inner self that invites Mistra in. But I was still your conduit. To perform such a feat alone requires much and arduous study. Yet it is life's most worthy pursuit in my impartial, if not humble opinion. Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone. An eruption the size of Waterdeep, I think my exact words were. Oh, I was surprised, but pleasantly so. Just like I said, amid the madness that has befallen us. It seems almost out of place to think of a kiss. And yet, now more than ever, it's important to recall what makes us human. Well, you know what I mean. A stolen glance, that sudden heartbeat. Sometimes the little things are worth more than kingdoms. They promise things to come.
We have yet to find Zorru. Or have you so quickly forgotten? He has seen my people, and where we find Githyanki, we will find their crash. It is over where I am concerned. It is through conflict that we strengthen our bonds. Yet I do not recommend Shadowheart seek it again. The next resolution may not end in her favor. It is a certainty. I had assumed our parasites served a Geich elder, but I believe they serve a greater master still. A question that burns in my belly day and night. Elders and collectives abide by their own tenets. It would require a powerful creed to unite them. And now this voice, this creed, finds our own ears. If it reaches this plane, it may reach others.
I don't think there'll be any more trouble between Lae'zel and I, if you were wondering. We can all sleep easier now. Well, apart from all the rest.
You have an interesting definition of friendly, but yes. You seem to know a good deal about our condition, Gale.
Everything, really. Not to put too fine a point on it.
A humble specimen, aren't you?
On occasion.
Moving in.
The road to Baldur's Gate is a long one. Who knows how long it'll take these folks to get there on foot.
If they make it. They're slow, but half or more will die long before Basilisk Gate.
Doesn't seem to trouble you a jot.
What good would it do for me to be troubled? We can't save them all.
Grab your bags. We're moving.
Do you need help, Icaron?
A scout just reported. The goblins' leadership has been decimated. We might escape this place yet. I took a collection from all of us. It isn't much, but you've earned it. It's not enough, but it's all we have.
Halsin will likely want to thank you too, mind. He returned just a while ago. I believe he's catching up with Korga. As for us...
No armies at our heels. Amazing. We can finally leave. But perhaps we need not speak of farewells. We'll join your camp tonight to celebrate if you'll have us.
Yes, you are. Now, stop squirming.
dare you even look me in the eye?
I did what I had to. A pity you don't see that.
I thought I had been a good teacher to you. You took it upon yourself to undertake the Rite of Thorns. I ought to exile you from this place. Forever. Instead, I shall listen to the explanation that you owe me.
I owe you nothing. Goblins swarmed us like roaches while you stumbled after the past. You chose to abandon us. I chose to protect us.
Silence! The rite has been ended. I will allow you to stay, but consider yourself a novice anew. You have forgotten the ways of the Druids, our place in the natural order. You shall learn it all once again, right here. Backslide, and nature's fury will crush you.
As you wish, Master Halsin.
She knows now what cavorting in the shadows brings her. She will not stray again. Besides, this is no time to lose a promising druid. You will soon see why. But enough of that for now. I owe you my thanks. The grove stands. Nature prevails. And again, I am in your debt. Speak to Wrath. He will reward you for your efforts. If only you had come to this place in more peaceful times. You'd have been a welcome addition. Tomorrow morning, we shall discuss what is to come. You deserve to be banished.
Then banish me.
With the leadership dead, no attack will be mounted on the grove. I am in your debt, my friend.
How long will we chanting?
The grove doesn't feel the same.
We have to let it go.
Our gates should stay. You think you saved us? You just prolonged the inevitable. Sooner or later, other outsiders will bring trouble to the grove.
That ritual. I know you stopped the goblins, but I can't stop looking over my shoulder. Makes it hard to sleep at night.
I'm fine.
Loosen up, pick her on.
No, no, and Albert.
Toddlers are easier to please than you lot. Patience? Have you no respect for showmanship?
Having performance issues, Roland.
Hush you, and behold! Adoring applause? You're too kind.
Remember when he could barely cast that?
They grow up so fast.
Never have I met such troglodytes. Now, pass the wine.
I need to dance!
No. No, I need to lie down.
This might be the wine talking, but I'm feeling inspired. Thinking of writing my next song about you. But I need an angle. Any ideas? Absolutely. With a foot in two worlds, you're the force joining both. You're going to love it.
Hope you're enjoying the night, hero. I certainly am. Cheers to many more like this.
Come on, Alfie, make it spicy.
All right. Hearts aquiver. Who raised our bows?
None of that poetic stuff. Something like...
You have no idea how good it feels to see these people smiling. The singing we could probably do without, but even so, thank you.
You came through for us. That's a change from most adults I know. I'm not. I'm glad they can celebrate before we've even got to the gate. Just like I'll be glad to be rid of them once we're there.
Go on now. Don't waste a night like this talking to me. We'll discuss your problem tomorrow. Later, perhaps. Don't worry about me. A night under the stars amidst nature's creation is just what I need after being locked up in the Goblin's dungeon. Go on, enjoy yourself. Seek out some wine before it runs dry. There are a lot of thirsty people around here.
I have seen the Kithraki tear a screaming Nyogi's legs from its belly to fashion into blades. Yet, they could not match your nerve today. It was enough to drive me to madness. I smell their blood on you still. I smell your sweat. I mean to taste it. I respect your error. There are, after all, other spreads before me. I will not go long without pleasure.
You know, I never pictured myself as a hero. Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here... I hate it. This is awful. We killed some goblins to save some tieflings. The tally of lives didn't change much. But what do I get for all my hard work? A pat on the head and vinegar for wine. Pfft. I'm just looking for a little more excitement, a little more fun. Don't be so sour. I like a good time as much as anyone. You know, we could always make our own entertainment, darling. Get a little closer, so to speak. All right, but don't take too long. You're not the only tasty morsel around here.
beautiful night, don't you think? Nothing like a brush with destruction to make one appreciate the majesty of the celestial canvas. It's a view I would once have shared with my companion, though definitely unaccompanied by such revelry. She preferred it when we were alone, curled up before a crackling hearth with some ancient, esoteric tome between us, ink glinting in the firelight. Not everyone is comfortable being alone with their thoughts, though I never felt alone with a book in my hand, or with her for company. I speak of Tara, my Tressim, assistant, my constant companion through all the ills and tribulations my hubris has thrust upon me. She'd been most impressed by our efforts saving these tieflings. Proud, even. And I've given her little to be proud of recently, after I was afflicted with my condition. Locked myself in my tower for an entire year. I was inconsolable, wallowing in my self-inflicted tragedy. I'd given up on myself, but Tara never did. It was her encouragement, her research that led me to my treatment. Once we knew that magically infused items were the key, she went out to find them for me. She saved my life. After so long being cared for by someone else, it feels good to have repaid the favor. Not directly to Tara, but to these poor tieflings. I'm sure she would approve. Sometimes, but I imposed it on myself after all. I set up enough wards to keep an army at bay. Never mind the few colleagues who sought to inquire about my welfare. Tara did her best to keep my spirits up, of course, but there's only so much one Tressum can make up for one's entire social circle. She was often gone, seeking items to treat my condition. You're the first person I've spent any significant time with in a year or more. Spending time in your company, I realize that I may have left behind the greater part of my wit and sensitivity in my tower. Wait, are you saying... You know what? I think I've clearly had far too much wine. And you've had nowhere near enough. I think this is a conversation best held back on, for now. With my condition as volatile as it is, I fear any undue excitement may tip it over the edge, so to speak. Go! Indulge in the frivolities. They're good for the heart. And mine will be all the lighter to see you enjoying yourself.
Let's get going. Seems like a good moment to talk.
We have yet to find Zoru. It is over where I am concerned. It is the next resolution may not. I had assumed our parasites, and now this voice, this.
I don't think there'll be any more trouble.
You have an interesting definition of friendly.
Tell me, what can I do for you? Think as I can an eruption the size of Waterdeep. Yet it is life's most worth, and they promise things to come. It was an event that came to be known as Miss Gale's folly, one might call it. If worst comes to worst.
Moving ahead.
Everything, really. Not to put too fine a point on it.
If there's fighting, you run, and you do not stop.
A scout, I took a collection from... No, but perhaps we need not speak of farewells. We're ready to head to your camp. Are you?
What did I tell you?
I did what I had to. A pity you don't see that.
I thought I had been a good teacher to... You took it upon yourself to undertake the rite of thought.
You...
You...
As you wish, Master.
The groves speak to Wrath. If only you had come to this...
It might have been better if he'd stayed away.
Don't say that.
Come now. He took in those strays and then he just left.
He went to make sure those strays could go.
You done it? No. Thanks is... I cannot imagine taking on a camp full of goblins was a simple task. As am I. The grove will be whole again. And I promised you a reward, didn't I? Let me show you on your map where you can find the cache. Take this rune. You'll need it. Place it among the pedestals inside our library. When the wolf glows brightest, everything in the vault below will be yours.
Devils either, but they're leaving.
If it had been up to Korga, they would never have been here at all.
Take her on.
And Albert.
Toddlers are easier to please than you lot. Patience. Behold! Adore. They never have.
But I need an absolute.
You came through for us. That's a change from most adults I know. Just...
Is this everyone? Our numbers have grown.
Go on now. Don't waste a night like this talking to me. We'll discuss your... Go.
She preferred it when we were alone. Curled up. Oh, no. I speak of... She'd been... After I was given up. After so long being cared for by someone else. It feels good to have repaid the favor. Not direct. Some Tara did. You're the first person I've spent any significant time with in a year or more. Go.
Come on, Alfie, make it spicy.
All right.
I can't afford it.
Hearts a quiver. Raise elbows.
None of that poetic stuff. Something like Goblin Swarm.
Buzz of celebration quiets to a soothing hum as you approach your bunk. You've picked up a few pleasant memories on your journey amongst your struggles. Or perhaps you will be the one taking him.
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it was well deserved. It may be some time before you're afforded another such night. There is much to be done, and I promised I would help you however I could. I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise Towers, but it's complicated. The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous, though it seems you're well accustomed to navigating danger.
I suppose it was too much to hope we were going to be cured here and now. To Moonrise, then.
To get to the towers, you'll need to pass through a terrible place. A cursed place. This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything natural there. Any who linger are twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls. so it seems, though I don't know how. You'll have to choose your approach carefully. You could go overland, along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the Shadow Curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne. It leads to Moonrise Towers through the Underdark. Long ago, a man called Ketheric Thorm built a secret stronghold deep down there, before rallying a whole army of Dark Justiciars, Shah worshippers.
Dark Justiciars. I must see for myself.
Aradin and his lot were looking for a way down there. They were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this stronghold, Ketheric's forces could access both the Temple of Selûne and Moonrise Towers. But he was defeated before he could launch an attack. If you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a more direct path to Moonrise Towers. And maybe even bypass the worst of the Shadow Curse. You've already been. Impressive. You'll make me redundant at this rate. What did you find? Keep looking. If they're present, then it's likely there's a route to Moonrise somewhere. It may prove impossible to avoid the Shadow Curse entirely. But if you find any way to limit your exposure, seize it. I would like to join your camp, if you'll allow me. I can offer my skills, my counsel. I've long sought to return to Moonrise Towers. It seems our fates have aligned. I've chosen a successor as first druid, Francesca of the High Forest. A bird's already been dispatched to summon her. I'm glad you approve. I do not truly care if you approve, but I am glad. The Grove needs to move beyond the mistakes of the past. What it needs is an unknown quantity. An outsider who can enforce the Oakfather's teachings without bias. This is why I chose Francesca. She will restore simplicity and purity to the Grove in my absence. Contrary to how some think of us, we druids can play politics when necessary. Now, we've quite the journey ahead. Best get started.
The architects who built it must have been remarkable. Pity their vision didn't stand the test of time.
All's not lost. I mean, just look at this place.
You've quite the knack for finding the bright side of things, haven't you?
Dead drow publicly displayed. The Dwergar ascending the march.
You're going up there? You've either got iron guts or one of those moon lanterns. Shit! Good thing, too. You won't get far without one. The Death Dark's clogged the top land. Clear to Moonrise Towers. Only a moon lantern dispels it. Shadows, thick as a Dwero's skull, sucks the breath right out of your lungs. Go on up if you fancy. Me? I'd sooner take a swim in the dark lake.
Mirror to the soul, yours have dark curtains across the mirror. No offense taken, I hope.
Not necessarily. I haven't made up my mind about you yet.
With a flick of the wrist.
You seemed forward with your compliments earlier. We'd only just met.
Seize the day, I say. More now.
Better not be cursed.
I do enjoy our conversations. What do you need?
Looking at something? I'm looking too, but not seeing very much. Another quirk of my affliction. preening in the looking glass? Petty vanity? Of course I miss it. I've never even seen this face. Not since it grew fangs and my eyes turned red. I don't know. I can't remember. My face is just some dark shape in my past. Another thing I've lost. What? I want to know what the world sees when it looks at me. What you see. What? But I don't... Excuse me.
No time to dally.
No one back home will ever believe this.
Let's get on with it.
Have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it. Still alive, so that's progress. On my way. Wonder what's past this.
Very well.
Oh there, wanderer. Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
Elminster?
The very same, Gale. And a fair bit miffed he is, too, finding himself forced to expose his best pair of boots to so many miles of country road on your behalf.
Originally, Shadowdale. Lately, the fanciest inns of Waterdeep. Meet Elminster Ormar, a good friend of mine, but rather more significantly, he's the most famed and respected wizard in the realms.
Am I, indeed? Most famed and respected errand boy, more like. I was bid to spare neither time nor my own self to find you. She sent me, Gale. You know of whom I speak.
But why? Out with it, Elminster. Please.
Young man, has your sojourn away from Waterdeep washed away your decorum as well as your patience? Nigh a 10-day I've gone without honest fare, worthy of the name. Drank naught but what the sky entitled my thirst. Why, some bread, cheese, and a cup of wine would appear unto me a feast. Surely you won't begrudge me a mite of rest and repast before I get out with it? And a great kindness that would be. See, Gale, even in these barren parts, the art of hospitality begets inspired new works, if only one keeps up the practice.
Oh, for the love of...
This way, then? To your camp? Oh, don't dawdle now, lad. You're the one who's in such a frightful hurry.
Oh, nigh on 13 centuries old and he still thinks with his stomach. We'd best follow and see if he's more disposed to speak plainly once it's stopped its grumbling. A wise choice. Better to indulge your curiosity than Elminster's appetite.
Yes, what a delightful wedge of old Arthurian that was. Doesn't do to parley on an empty stomach, you know. Makes one's words frivolous when they should be grave. Plenty to digest, after all. A good deal to stew over, if you will. Words ladled with import should be savored so as to better absorb their meaning. Wouldn't you agree?
Elminster!
Right. You see, well, that is to say, Gale, my boy, I've come to address a most pressing matter. I'll speak as plainly as I can, forswearing the accustomed frills that decorate my speech. I'm here on behalf of Mistra. The message and the charge I bring you are hers.
The long-awaited question. Now, if you please, Elminster, for the too long-awaited answer.
You know where you went wrong, Gale. No, we needn't dwell on that here and now. But even so, you're to be given a chance of redemption.
Mistra would consider forgiveness.
She would consider what she considers to be forgiveness. Mistra is aware of the misadventures that have befallen you both. She knows of your strife with the Absolute, that most insidious of evils. They choose the instruments of their will with great precision. Sometimes the single drops we think we are do not realize what waves we are building up to be. Do not discount yourself, and by the same token, do not discount your enemy. You must know that the Absolute is more dangerous than you can possibly conceive. It threatens all who live, even those who are undying. It threatens the gods, the weave, the very fabric of the universe itself. That is why I have come here to charge you, Gale, with its destruction. It is Mystra's belief that only you can.
The orb.
Precisely. Mystra has granted me the power to stop the clock, as it were, on the orb's rush to overpower you. Instead, you will be able to unleash its lethal combustion at will.
Interesting. This could be help or hindrance. We shall have to see.
You must find the heart of the Absolute, whatever that may be, and use yourself as the catalyst that will burn it from this world.
He is not. But it seems that Mystra is.
It brings me no pleasure saying this, my friend, but such is Mystra's will. Yours must be the sacrifice that will undo the Absolute, and for your sacrifice you will be redeemed. Such is Mystra's promise. With that, I've said my sorry piece, and need only bestow unto thee the charm I was bid. Mina hastra mistraril Italior thras annas It is done. Both charge and charm have been committed into your care. To you, I commit into care Gale himself. I count on you to shepherd him well on this strangest of journeys.
Or some other fortune altogether.
Like moons make swell and wane the nescient seas, so too the sky-strewn gods ordain the tidal fates of mortal days. And yet, an ocean born in lonely hours, come ebb, come flow, come all that is beyond the breadth of our dominion. Be a moon unto yourself. Even the waves of fate can break upon the shores of will. Farewell, my friend.
Farewell, Elminster. I'm glad she chose you.
Let's move. I've got a long
An
road
audience
ahead.
with Elminster is never less than memorable. I'd have hoped to introduce you to him in less dire circumstances. But those are hard to come by these days. The Doddering Act is merely an illusion, one he's most adept at maintaining. Elminster is the most formidable wizard in the realms. Perhaps in existence. For Mystra to have sent him, the severity of her bidding could not be clearer, or weigh more heavily on me. Time seems so infinite when you're young. A month is an age. A year is a lifetime. It is a strange feeling to realize how little of it one might have left. Of course, we offer the clearest solution to our problem. All I have to do is find the right place and time, close my eyes, and let go. Then the slate will be clean. Wrongs will be righted, the absolute will be gone, and I along with it. If there was, I'm sure the goddess of magic and the greatest wizard who ever lived would have identified it. But alas, only one solution is offered. That remains ahead of us for now. The heart of the Absolute must be discovered before I can stop its beating. Let's save such certainty for the moment such a decision is upon us. We may feel differently once we know what we're truly up against. An entire domain ensconced in shadow curse. That's quite the enchantment.
Stand by me if you need to keep warm in this awful place. I've never seen darkness like this before. It's unsettling.
Moonrise Towers lies ahead. We must venture on, however bleak the path.
At the ready. My energy's draining. The darkness is taking its toll.
I can barely think straight. This place saps the very thoughts from your mind.
Broken moon lantern catches your eye. Its glow now snuffed out.
Excellent choice.
Broken moon lantern catches your eye. Its glow now snuffed out. This is pixie dust, used to illuminate a lamp, or left behind after a pixie's death. You see no burner or wick. It was not fuel that...
No one stopped me yet.
The air is ripe with magic.
Maybe it will bring us closer.
Hey, soldier, well, I'm not feeling so good. My engine is getting worse. Feels like it's going to burst out of my chest. We need to catch up with Damon. See if he's thought of a way to fix this thing. If it can be fixed. I'm sure we will. But, in case we don't, a bit of advice. You leave your left flank wide open. If I'm ever not around to cover it, you may find yourself on the wrong side of a goblin spear one of these days.
This place. These shadows. I don't seem to be affected. Not as badly, anyway. Perhaps I shouldn't put it to the test, but compared to everyone else, I feel fine. Better than fine. Do you know what this means? I must be blessed. Lady Shah is protecting me where others are left to face her wrath. She loves me. She must do. Lady Shah wouldn't bless me like this for no reason. There must be something she wants of me. The Shadowfell, her domain, has power here. Whatever the Dark Lady needs of me, I'll wager the answer lies wherever her power is strongest. I need to find that place. See what awaits me.
This dark land must be filled with the broken, the beaten, the desperate. The perfect preying ground for a devil who offers a way out for those who sign on the dotted line. I hope we end up seeing our friend Raphael down here somewhere. Help me find him, and you'll find out. When I was taken to his house, I was caught off guard. But now I know what to ask for. All in due time, but not now. I'm sure he'll turn up at one point or another.
I've never seen such a concentration of shadow magic. We must forge on, but carefully. It will corrupt any who lack the power to control it. It is the very antithesis of all the Weave stands for. A magic of confusion and corruption, drawn forth only by those desperate or damned enough to accept its degradations. Followers of Mystra, those who call on the true Weave, are expressly forbidden to indulge it. Not necessarily. Magic has no inherent morality. Its effect is entirely down to the inclinations of the wielder. Even Mystra herself abstains from passing judgment on those who use the Weave. Her job is to ensure magic exists, not to dictate the purposes to which it is applied. There's no denying a certain perfume of decay hangs over such dark magic, but that isn't to say it can't be put to good use. Or at the very least, neutral use. Now, I think it's time we moved on to lighter subjects, for we too are lost to the darkness. Was there anything else? She expects those who seek to use the Weave to do so honestly, and with respect for its potential to destroy, as well as its potential to save. I doubt she's asked many of her followers to blow themselves up. That's a fate she's bequeathed exclusively to me. She wouldn't ask such a thing if it weren't our only means of survival. However much she's annoyed at me. I've no doubt she has the power to do so, but as for the permission, Ao would not look kindly on her meddling in mortal affairs. Divine intervention has a tendency to make things worse, not better. As for Elminster, he's saved the realms more times than legend can recount. But to take on a god is no easy feat, even for him. My orb is the best chance we have. And only I can wield it. Oh, you know me, ever the optimist. I'm trying to focus on the positives. Truth is, I was living on borrowed time already. Consuming those items would only have kept the orb sated for so long. If anything, I feel more at peace than I have in months. At least now I know my death will have purpose. It won't be a distant bang in the footnotes of history.
The voice of the Absolute is strong here. And getting stronger. I don't know how much longer I can resist it. But it's good to see you're making progress. You took an unexpected route here. You did a brave thing, saving those people in the grove. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's not your fault the world is wicked. You did the right thing.
The hurt runs deeper than he's willing to show you.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Beneath the resilient veneer, a touch of fragility. He needs comfort.
It's been a very long time since someone did that. For me. Of course. It just doesn't stop. We are being bombarded by waves of telepathic energy. Wave after wave with hardly a breath between them. I almost dare not rest. Each wave a set of orders to the infected. The order for your transformation has been given many times already. I just hope my powers last long enough to see this through.
Breathe deep and move.
The road to Baldur's Gate is a long one. Who knows how long it'll take these folks to get there on foot.
If they make it. I should speak up.
So it's true. You scattered the goblins. Peace can finally return to this corner of the Sword Coast. Thank you. Of course. May you keep balance.
Here goes nothing. Cursed to put my hands on everything.
This place is heavy.
Something over there. Maybe I need more pockets.
Eyes open. Watch the shadows. Stay together. Keep to the light. Stop! Who's there? Enough not to trust a voice from the darkness. Come into the light. Hands high. Jonas, move in! Jonas? Can you see our torches?
I can't see anything! Something's wrong!
Follow my voice! Come back to the light!
Who's there? Meg? Is that...
Jonas?
There you are. Come. Join me.
Jonas. Harpers, you heard the woman. To arms!
Let's cook with fire, baby. Well, well. Look what we have here. Other things on my mind, thanks.
Finish them off!
showtime. Poor fucker.
Swiftly now.
Let's finish this. Onward.
Take two. Another step forward.
Gods, it's hot in here. Got this. Down the hatch.
Need to act fast.
Take two. Anything of use? Better than nothing.
Playtime's over, pet.
Oh, I love love this time of year. The dickheads start popping up wherever you look.
What do you want, Mizora?
Drop the attitude and perk up your ears. You've got a new mission. Absolute's cult has gone and grabbed one of Zariel's assets. A devil. And a powerful one at that. They're locked up in the cult's fortress, Moonrise Towers. And you're getting them out. Well, your playmate's wasting precious time. Let's see about getting her priorities fixed. Clause Z, Section 13. Should promised soul refuse obeyance or neglect duty, the pact holder shall cast the promised into Avernus as a lemure. I'll make it simple. Will fails or refuses, and he turns to a thick blob of stink flesh and sinks to Avernus. Now, be a good boy and play fetch, pup, or you'll spend an eternity sizzling in the hells.
Mizora's words may be flippant, but they are tinged with desperation. She cannot afford for Will to fail this mission. This may be your best chance to negotiate Will out of his pact.
Oh, and what condition is that?
Your mind links with Will's, drawn in by his increasing panic.
What are you doing?
Will relaxes, and your connection fades.
Interesting. Now, why should I go letting my favorite pet off his leash? I've never seen such a fearless display of sheer idiocy. Bravo! Fine, I'll play your game. But I amend the pact once the mission's done, not before. Clause F, Section 9. Soulbinder shall bestow reward or favor only upon soul bearer's fulfillment of related obligation. Now, to Moonrise, pet. And do mind the shadows. They've been especially hungry.
You know, I feel a connection between us. Like we're two souls walking the same path. You might be a little naive in the ways of the world, but I see promise in you. Ambition. Just that you have a big heart. You like doing what's right. So I was thinking, what would be the right thing to do when we get to Moonrise Towers? When we come face to face with whoever's controlling the parasites in our heads. Gods! Try to think outside the box just a little. Consider the parasites in our skulls and think how many others have the mind flayers infected. Hundreds. Thousands. And they're not just goblin trash. There are powerful people in the worm's thrall. Whoever's waiting for us at Moonrise Towers controls it all. But if we can take that control from them, Imagine the power we'd wield. That's just the thing. If we control the parasites, then we can order them not to change us. All the power, with none of the tentacles. I'm just saying, there's an opportunity here. If we can control the tadpoles, we can keep ourselves safe and liberate the world from this evil. Do. It's not often the universe hands you something like this. We'd be fools to squander it. Of course, this all assumes we live long enough to find this, moonrise. But I'm feeling optimistic.
Always a delight to speak with you. What can I do?